Hello everyone, my name is Daniel, I'm just a casual racer, and today we're in Project Motor Racing, and I want to showcase my force feedback settings here. And I'm going to walk you through them. I'm using the Fanatec CSL DD 8 Newton meter base, and I will walk you through my settings, and this may be useful if you have other bases. I may do some other videos. I have a Camus, I have some Thrustmaster wheelbases, some Logitech wheelbases. If you're interested, throw it out there. I might be able to make a video on it. Comment down below. All right, let's jump in. The way Project Motor Racing does their force feedback is a little bit different. 100% is generally fine, from what I can tell, on the force feedback, at least for my CSL DD. It's a little bit interesting on how they're calculating the gain, I think. I have some, but I think it's partly due to this force feedback headroom here, this slider down here. I have that down at 50. I haven't had any issues, so at 150 for the overall force feedback. Haptic strength, I like to leave a little bit of haptic strength, because here's the thing, right? This is not really realistic forces, but I want information. I don't have a motion platform, and even then you still don't have G-forces if you do, so I want as much information as I can. So we're also going to have the detail up at 25, so we're getting detail boosted a little bit. We're getting some haptic details put in, which are those artificial details. And then we're also, because the direct drive wheelbase, we don't want any smoothing. We don't want any low force boost. This low force boost is useful for very weak wheels. Maybe if you had like an R3, like a really weak direct drive wheel, 3 Newton meters, 4 Newton meters, maybe this would be a little bit useful. Throw a little bit of low force boost here, but you don't need it for 8 Newton meters, that's for sure, or higher. So those are at 0. But this isn't all, so don't go jumping ahead and trying to run off. This isn't everything. There is a second part to this that I think a lot of people are going to miss, and it's actually kind of annoying how this works to get the best experience here. So if we back out and we go to vehicle setup, tire and chassis, and you got to save these setups if you make changes, and these are very important. I wish they would bring some of these settings into the menu so it could just universally apply instead of being on a per car basis. Some of these things could be, but for me, like steering dampening, steering stiffness, I feel like that should be a universal setting. I bring the steering stiffness down to 1 on all the cars I race on. I bring this down to 2, the damping. I've tried 1 and 0, but I actually get like a ripple effect. You feel the coils within the CSL DD, so 2 is as low as I can. Real smooth here, real nice. So 1 and 2. Then the only thing I mess with, and you get, like I said, until you save the setups, you got to readjust this every time you load into a race, which is kind of annoying. But the way I think about it is I take alignment boost up to 40, and then I take my load boost up to either pretty much as high as it'll go, which is sometimes some of the cars only go up to like 1. With this, it goes up to 2 with the hypercars, so LMDH cars, so I take it up to 2. I want to feel the weight of the car. I know in a real life you don't necessarily feel that in the steering wheel in real life, but you are going to feel load in the car through the way the car moves around you, through the G-forces you feel. And I want to feel that. I want to feel a lot. EQ low, I always boost this to 1. The mids, and this I've seen somebody talking about this elsewhere. The mid doesn't seem to be right. I don't know. It seems to add a lot of oscillations. So I get rid of the mids entirely. This is maybe one of the biggest things that needs to be done, in my opinion, when you load in. So you want to get rid of the mids. Probably want to do the alignment boost as well. This is a personal preference thing, I think. You could take it or leave this. And then I also like to put the EQ high. I'm doing 2.5 generally for all the cars I drive. And this just really gives you those details that you need, that otherwise just kind of get muted. So this right here, combined with what I showed you earlier, gives a pretty good driving experience for your force feedback wheelbase. I'm currently using this on a Fanatec CSL DD with the boost pack to 8 Newton meters. So if you have any questions, feedback, advice, whatever, this might entirely change if there's some updates here. So this might go out of date. If it becomes way out of date or I start using something totally different, I will post a comment and I'll pin that so you'll be able to see. But if there's no pinned comment, or I'll probably pin a comment, say, hey, I'm still using this, or this is what I've changed, then just follow that and you'll be good to go.